I would like to know what makes Batman Begins different from the franchises that we're used to see over and over again.
Right. Credibility, I think. You know, we're really basing it in reality. We're making everything practical. We're giving answers to everything as well. We're not just accepting that Batman exists and you get these strange villains running around Gotham. We wanted Gotham to be a real city that people would recognize, and we give answers in Batman Begins to how he becomes Batman, why he becomes Batman. It's about Bruce Wayne more than anybody else. I mean, the creature of Batman is not even created until about halfway through. But then even with the villains as well, you have every explanation of why they behave the way they do and how they can end up looking the way they do as well. And people have never given those answers. There's always just been an assumption. He feels a great need for revenge. As anybody would, you know, when their parents have been killed. But he was unable to get the satisfaction of vengeance upon the actual perpetrator. But I envisioned that every criminal he comes across, he cannot help but see them as his parents' murderer. And it's a continuing debate that rages within him of the fastest way to get results in cleansing the city of evil, but of the danger of becoming the very beast that you're trying to fight in doing so. So it's a continuing question of what is revenge and what is justice and what is the difference between the two.
Christopher Nolan has a very interesting career and is a very known blockbuster director. But in a way, he's done a wonderful job. I would like to know, how is it for you working with him, and what do you think he brought into this project as a co-writer?
I think that what he brought to it was the very fact that he has not done a movie like this before. So it was new blood. He approached it from a more independent filmmaking viewpoint. It meant that, first of all, there was a much more personal feel on the set than I think you usually get with a 7-month schedule, mega money movie like this, because that's just the way that he's used to working. It also means that he didn't skip over any details, which you so often get in big movie blockbuster things. They just say, oh, nobody will ever notice. He cared about every little detail. He wanted to answer every little piece. And that really notices. You know, like you said, most blockbuster movies, they don't satisfy completely. This one, I think, is going to satisfy the real hardcore fans who have been kind of waiting to see a dark and truthful depiction and defining depiction of Batman. But it also satisfies people who appreciate good movies and good stories, because it has both. You know, there's no need to have a dumb movie just because it's a big summer blockbuster.
I would like to know if it was complicated to understand the two worlds, the conventional world of Bruce Wayne and then the more science fictional world of Batman, and you as an actor going back and forth from one to another.
Well, no, because the way that Chris approached it was he created this world that could be, on the one hand, realistic, but also embrace the fantastic as well. You know, I mean, it has to be somewhat fantastical because we're dealing with a superhero here. But in basing that in good grounding and good practical history, it was very easy to incorporate, you know, the two. And essentially, you know, you have the benefit as well of, with this superhero, he is just a man. You know, you're not dealing with some magical person who comes from a different planet. You're dealing with somebody who was born on this earth and is very human and all too human, you know, and is driven by very negative emotions, is driven by a great deal of rage and anger, but also an inherited philanthropy, you know, from his father. And so for me, it was kind of almost a therapy that Bruce Wayne goes through in donning this bat suit, where he's able to channel his rage completely when he becomes this other character and he becomes this demon. And he does that so that, yes, he can actually achieve results within Gotham in intimidating criminals, but also so that as Bruce Wayne, he's able to function, you know, that he's not so full of hatred that he can't function in society.